I speak to you today with feelings of profound sorrow. Throughout her life, Her Majesty the Queen, my beloved mother, was an inspiration, an example to me and to all my family. And we owe her the most heartfelt debt any family could owe to their mother.
I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service and to the service of our great imperial family to which we all belong.
Queen Elizabeth was a life well lived, a promise with destiny kept, and she is mourned most deeply in her passing.
Cameras have always been a part of our lives. I think there's a difference to watching a home movie when you know who it is on the other side of the lens, holding the camera. I always enjoyed capturing family moments. You always hope that future generations will find them interesting, and perhaps be surprised that you too were young once.
Princess Elizabeth Alexandra Mary, a country girl at heart, was not born to reign, but was destined to rule. Circumstances thrust her onto the throne at just 25, a role she gracefully fulfilled for 70 remarkable years. Queen Mary, a devoted monarchist, helped instill a sense of responsibility and commitment to the monarchy in her granddaughter. The Queen was young, but well aware of the importance of duty, humility, and service to the crown, earning her worldwide respect and admiration. After her coronation, young Queen Elizabeth embarked on a 6-month tour to thank the Commonwealth for its support during the Second World War. A war that was a major part of her teenage years. Aged 18 and determined to do her bit for the war, Princess Elizabeth entered training for service. She qualified as a driver and mechanic, although the war ended before she could use her skills. And now, with Prince Philip 2 steps behind her, she delivered her mandate home and abroad. She traversed the Commonwealth extensively. No monarch ever did it like she did. Her Majesty docked in Auckland, New Zealand on December 23, 1953, from where she would deliver her Christmas message. Opening the New Zealand Parliament in January 1954, she emphasized the importance of self-governance and democracy in the nation's history.
Honourable members of the House of Representatives, it is with a feeling of real satisfaction that I speak to you, the elected representatives of the people of New Zealand, as your Queen, and that I exercise my prerogative of opening the 4th session of this 30th Parliament.
This occasion, crowned by the Queen's respect for the nation and its people, left a lasting impression. And in her passing, New Zealand honored her with their infamous haka performance. She was Britain's Queen. to the world, she was the Queen. Her reign saw extensive modernization of the monarchy. 1957 marked the Queen's first televised Christmas broadcast.
Happy Christmas. 25 years ago, my grandfather broadcast the first of these Christmas messages. Today is another landmark, because television has made it possible for many of you to see me in your homes on Christmas Day. I very much hope that this new medium will make my Christmas message more personal and direct.
A deliberate effort to increase accessibility for the monarchy. By inviting millions of people into her home, she bridged the gap between the royal family and the public.
Lord Provost of Edinburgh speaking.
This is the Queen speaking from Bristol. Good afternoon, Lord Provost.
Good afternoon, Your Majesty. May I, with humble duty, offer you the loyal greetings of the citizens of Edinburgh.
Thank you. And would you, Lord Provost, please convey my greetings to them? I'm always interested in any development which brings my people closer together.
She saw the monarchy's adaptation to changing societal expectations and enhanced its relevance in a rapidly evolving media landscape.
In a few moments, Bristol subscribers will be able to make trunk calls by merely dialing the right number up to a distance of some 300 miles. In time, the whole United Kingdom will enjoy the advantages of this new service which the Post Office has introduced.
With the outpouring love and admiration she received from her subjects, Her Majesty was not lost in the stardom. She was aware of the burden of the crown. Duty above self.
Through the grounds of Windsor Castle to the Chapel of St. George, Sir Winston Churchill walks in solemn procession. Within the chapel, the resting place of kings, this man of history is to be installed as a Knight of the Most Noble Order of the Garter by the Queen. There too in the procession are yeomen of the guard, 2 kings of arms, pursuivants and heralds, and the Knights' companions. For a moment, the pages of time are turned back 600 years.
With humility, she honored those who went ahead of her.
The Queen, as Sovereign of the Order, makes her way to the chapel. Earlier, Her Majesty had invested Sir Winston with his insignia. Now she is to present him with a jeweled Garter of the Order in a ceremony that dates back to the reign of Edward III.
In 1973, Queen Elizabeth unveiled Winston Churchill's memorial in honor of his pivotal role as a wartime leader in the Second World War. Reflecting the national gratitude for his contributions to British history. The Queen's every move was anchored on her lifelong pledge to serve. She was the nation's head of state, commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and a world leader in her own right. Wielding such immense power, Her Majesty was aware she could easily be perceived as out of touch.
To Balmoral Castle, where the Queen and her family are on holiday, Her Majesty invites our cameraman to meet herself, Prince Philip and their children for some delightfully informal pictures as a change from the ceremony of state occasions.
She turned to the power of the camera, opened up her home, and allowed the public catch a glimpse of her private life.
Britain's royal family 2 generations ago were quick to realize that the film camera could bring them closer to their people than ever before in history. But perhaps none have taken to it more naturally and unself-consciously than the present Queen and her family. It is this gift, more than any other, which makes all the Queen's subjects feel that the royal family are the nation's personal friends.
This occasional glimpse revealed an avid corgi and horse lover behind the crown. Humanizing the monarchy. Demonstrating a desire to heal old wounds and bring the family together, Her Majesty invited her uncle, who had abdicated the throne 30 years earlier. Edward and Wallis, now Duke and Duchess of Windsor, returned to London for the first time in 3 decades for the dedication of a memorial to Queen Mary, the Duke's mother. She not only welcomed the Windsors back into the family fold, but also honored her uncle's dying wish by allowing his widow, Wallis Simpson, be buried beside him after her death in 1986. Symbolizing a form of acceptance of their relationship. In 1992, Queen Elizabeth faced a series of personal and family challenges. In what came to be known as the most horrible year of her reign, 3 of her 4 children separated from their spouses this year. Prince Andrew separated from Sarah Ferguson in March. Princess Anne divorced Mark Phillips in April. And Prince Charles separated from Princess Diana in December, painting the royal family in bad light. Additionally, in November, a fire broke out at Windsor Castle, the Queen's residence. Ignited by a faulty spotlight in a private chapel, the blaze destroyed 115 rooms and took 225 firefighters 15 hours to extinguish. The devastating damage on the Queen's childhood home, coupled with her children's broken marriages, weighed heavily on her.
"1992 is not a year on which I shall look back with undiluted pleasure. In the words of one of my more sympathetic correspondents, it has turned out to be an annus horribilis. I suspect that I'm not alone in thinking it so.
The events of this year shattered the public's perception of the royals as a perfect family and led to increased media scrutiny of the monarchy. The Queen asked for understanding and moderation from the press, acknowledging the public's right to scrutinize the monarchy.
I sometimes wonder how future generations will judge the events of this tumultuous year. I dare say that history will take a slightly more moderate view than that of some contemporary commentators.
This speech was seen as a rare moment of vulnerability from the usually stoic Queen. Despite the responsibilities and troubles of the crown, Her Majesty occasionally graced us with humor.
Why do we
always go round and round when you want to talk. Sounds like President Trump, President Obama.
Especially when she questioned the practicality of her ceremonial robes.
Whoever invented these robes, they're not really very practical. They couldn't have been practical, even in the days when somebody wore clothes like this or didn't.
Must be quite warm, though, I suppose.
It's certainly warm on a June day plodding down.
Yes, I bet.
Or when her dogs, Jade and Bray, were being a little mischievous.
Jade, when you took the puppies' dinner the other night, what did I do? Oh, Jade.
What, she ate the puppies' dinner?
Yes, she ate the puppies' dinner.
She do that.
And then there was a grinning face all over the hall, you know. Jade.
Bray, you're not supposed to do that. I won't hear. Go away. I'm not here. Go and do your stuff. Bray.
The sudden death of Princess Diana in a car crash in Paris on August 31st, 1997, deeply affected the British public and strained their relationship with the royal family. The Queen initially remained at Balmoral with her family. Drawing criticism for not immediately returning to London to address the nation's grief. The public was hungry for leadership and comfort. Prime Minister Tony Blair provided this.
We are today a nation in Britain in a state of shock, in mourning, in grief that is so deeply painful for us. She was a wonderful and a warm human being. She touched the lives of so many others in Britain throughout the world with joy and with comfort.
He delivered a moving tribute to Diana, the people's princess. In contrast, the royal family was perceived as aloof and out of touch in their silence. Queen Elizabeth finally spoke to the nation on September 5th, acknowledging the anger directed towards her and her family.
Since last Sunday's dreadful news, we have seen throughout Britain and around the world an overwhelming expression of sadness at Diana's death. We have all been trying in our different ways to cope. It is not easy to express a sense of loss, since the initial shock is often succeeded by a mixture of other feelings: disbelief, incomprehension, anger, and concern for those who remain.
Eulogizing Diana as an exceptional and gifted human being.
What I say to you now, as your queen and as a grandmother, I say from my heart. First, I want to pay tribute to Diana myself. She was an exceptional and gifted human being. In good times and bad, she never lost her capacity to smile and laugh, nor to inspire others with her warmth and kindness. I admired and respected her for her energy and commitment to others, and especially for her devotion to her two boys.
This speech humanized the monarchy and eased the tense atmosphere. Later reflections by the Queen suggest a recognition of the challenges Diana faced, indicating a nuanced understanding of her legacy.
But I cannot forget, and nor can those of us here today who knew her much more personally, as sister, wife, mother, or daughter-in-law, the Diana who made such an impact on our lives. Of course, there were difficult times, but memories mellow with the passing of the years.
Queen Elizabeth. Her relationship with Camilla had been a troubled journey, marked by initial rejection and eventual acceptance. Initially, the royal family viewed Camilla as unsuitable for Charles due to her previous relationships and perceived experience. However, following Diana's tragic death, the Queen began to reassess her stance. By the time of Charles and Camilla's wedding in 2005, the Queen publicly acknowledged their relationship, famously stating, "My son is home and dry with the woman he loves." In a significant shift, during her Platinum Jubilee in February 2022, the Queen expressed her sincere wish for Camilla to be known as Queen Consort when Charles ascended the throne. This endorsement not only reinforced Camilla's acceptance, but also reflected the Queen's commitment to unifying the monarchy by sealing the cracks in her family. Only the Queen had the influence to transform the perception of Camilla from a controversial figure to a respected member of the royal family. Controversy hit home when Prince Andrew was exposed for his association with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The scandal escalated dramatically after a 2015 court filing alleged that Andrew had engaged in sexual activities with Virginia Giuffre, a minor at the time.
It was a wicked time in my life. It was a really scary time in my life. I had just been abused by a member of a royal family. I didn't know what could happen. And I couldn't comprehend how on the highest levels of the government and powerful people were allowing this to happen, not only allowing it to happen, but participating in it.
I have no recollection of ever meeting this lady. None whatsoever.
You don't remember meeting her?
No.
4 days after the interview, Buckingham Palace announced in a statement that Andrew would be suspended from public duties for the foreseeable future, with the Queen's consent. Andrew's rapid fall from grace underscored the Queen's determination to protect the institution she had served for over 70 years. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle made public their desire to step back from royal duties on January 8, 2020. This move, they would say, was influenced by their struggles with intense media scrutiny, particularly the racially charged treatment Meghan faced, which echoed the experiences of Harry's late mother, Princess Diana. Initially, they sought a progressive new role within the monarchy while retaining their titles. However, Buckingham Palace ruled out a half-in, half-out arrangement, leading to a more definitive exit. Although the terms of exit had to be adhered to by both parties, Her Majesty did not take a hard stance on the couple's decision. In retrospect, she, together with Prince Philip, kept in touch with the Sussexes and their children, and even exchanged Christmas gifts.
Interesting, my grandmother asked us what Archie wanted for Christmas, and Meg said a waffle maker. She sent us a waffle maker for Archie.
No.
So breakfast now, Meg makes up a beautiful, like, organic mix.
Yeah.
In the waffle maker, flip it, out it comes. He loves it.
You're glossing over the fact that I cannot for the life of me imagine the Queen ordering a waffle maker to be sent to Santa, but I can't get my head around.
I don't even know how to comment on that.
As the COVID-19 pandemic swept across the world, the Queen provided steady leadership and inspiration to the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth. Despite the challenges of her advanced age, she remained a constant and reassuring figure for her people. She relocated to Windsor Castle with Prince Philip as a precaution and continued to read and sign official papers daily.
It follows reports in the British newspapers that the Queen was actually escorted or chauffeured away from Buckingham Palace and taken down to Windsor Castle by her concerned and panicky staff. She's staying there with her husband, Prince Philip. He is now 98 years old. The Queen is about to turn 94, and there are concerns for both of them.
With the power of the camera, she led from the front in adapting to the new and modern communication channels.
Good morning. At Windsor?
Good morning. I'm very glad to have been able to join you.
Can you see everybody? You should have 6 people on your screen.
Yes, well, I can see 4 anyway.
Okay, fair enough. Actually, you don't need me. You know what I look like.
Her Christmas message conveyed her deepest sympathies for the lives lost and families separated due to the pandemic.
For many, this time of year will be tinged with sadness, some mourning the loss of those dear to them, and others missing friends and family members distanced for safety. If you are among them, you are not alone, and let me assure you of my thoughts and prayers.
But soon after, she would suffer her own loss. Prince Philip, her husband, passed away peacefully at Windsor Castle on April 9, 2021, aged 99. The Duke of Edinburgh had a long history of health issues, including heart problems. The Queen was profoundly affected by her husband's passing. At Prince Philip's memorial service, she appeared visibly heartbroken, sitting alone due to COVID restrictions. Despite her grief, she soon resumed her public duties, yet she was secretly battling bone cancer, as would be revealed by Giles Brandreth, a close friend of Prince Philip. Brandreth authored a biography of the Queen titled Elizabeth, An Intimate Portrait. In the book, he claims he had heard that the Queen had a form of myeloma-borne marrow cancer, which would explain her tiredness, weight loss, and those mobility issues we were often told about during the last year or so of her life. While the Queen's official cause of death was listed as old age, Brandreth's book suggests she battled a painful form of cancer in her final years. Queen Elizabeth's stoic response to her husband's death exemplified her duty above self mindset. However, we wish at least this once the Queen took a break and mourned her beloved husband of 73 years. As her health deteriorated rapidly henceforth. In 2021, mid-October, she spent a night at King Edward VII's Hospital in London for what was termed as preliminary investigations. The doctors advised she rests for 2 weeks and only undertake light duties. But despite this period of rest, Her Majesty's health continued to decline. And by mid-November, she missed the Remembrance Sunday service due to a sprained back. This event, one of the most significant on the monarch's calendar, honors Britain's war dead. The ceremony proceeded without her, with Prince Charles laying a wreath on her behalf. By the time of her Platinum Jubilee, the Queen had been experiencing mobility issues and would now rely on a cane in public. The festivities began on February 6th and culminated in a 4-day celebration from 2nd June to 5th June. Reports indicated she experienced some discomfort during the initial Jubilee events, leading her to skip the National Thanksgiving service at St. Paul's Cathedral. The most touching moment of the Jubilee was the Queen's brief balcony appearance at Trooping the Colour ceremony. Her frail figure was striking as she stood alongside her son, his wife, as well as William and his family. This symbolic gathering of the family represented passing of the torch to the next generation of the monarchy. Her Majesty could be seen biting her lower lip, a gesture interpreted as her attempt to conceal emotions. Her demeanor seemed to encapsulate both a celebration of her legacy and an acknowledgement of her impending departure from public life. After the Jubilee celebrations, Queen Elizabeth traveled to Scotland for her annual summer break. On September 6th, she met with Liz Truss, her 15th Prime Minister. This meeting, conducted under the shadow of her visibly failing health, reflected her lifelong commitment to duty. About 48 hours later, her doctors released a statement that they were unable to help Her Majesty anymore. Queen Elizabeth II passed away on September 8, 2022, aged 96. The Queen is dead. The ever-present constant in a changing world is gone. All that she could do, she had done. A promise with destiny kept. She led us the best way she knew how, and there will never be another like her. As the curtain closes on the Second Elizabethan age, the mantle shifts. The future of the British monarchy now lies in the hands of her children and their judgment. For 70 glorious years, we say. Thank you. Your Majesty.